Alright, welcome to the probably poorly made process video on how I made Arthur Morgan's sketchbook, journal, whatever, from scratch. Please ignore how I struggled to rip out the paper from the sketchbook. I used a random cream-colored sketchbook that I found at, I want to say, Michael's. It didn't have perforations, so I had to cut off the little extra bits manually, and I couldn't find a ruler, so I used just a random board I had lying around as a straight edge. Now comes the tedious process of having to fold over every single sheet of paper. Also, please ignore any noise. There's construction going on right outside my dorm building. But yeah, you just gotta fold it, and I used what's it called? A bone folder, I think it's called. You don't need one of those. Most of the tools I use here, you don't need. Anyway, putting these pages together to form signatures. I think I did signatures of 5 pages. Oh, also, for the record, there was a power outage. That's why it's dark and there's candles. I started this during a power outage, which was totally a good idea. Now I am marking out on one of the signatures where I'm gonna poke the holes for the thread to actually sew the journal together. I used the little marks on my mat. You don't need these weird clamp things. I stole them from my dad. I did not have them when I first started bookbinding, and I was fine. You will be fine. I am now using the same board as a straight edge to mark across the rest of the signatures where to poke the holes, because they need to be exactly in the same spot in all of the signatures, or else your text block is going to be very misshapen and wavy, and none of the edges are going to line up correctly, and it's going to be a bad time, and you're going to be upset and very disappointed in it. Definitely not speaking from experience. So, I poke my holes into a coaster that I stole from my parents that is probably older than I am, and I use that clamp. I don't know what the actual name for it is, and I stick a needle in it. Not very ergonomic. My hands did hurt by the end of this, but it worked, and that's the important part. I want to stress that you don't need special tools for most of this. You can just make do with what you have lying around, and it will still turn out all right. The first time I bound a book, I was using a safety pin to poke the holes. I did not have any of this stuff available. Now, I forgot to film myself actually cutting out the leather, so this is me miming it. I cut it out with an X-Acto, which is the only blade I used on this entire project, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so I just stuck the pages on there and marked out about an inch on each side. I don't remember the exact measurements. The binding tutorial I was using for this, because it's a stitch I've never done, was from Sea Lemon on YouTube. And I just stole the measurements from hers, I'm pretty sure. So this is me trying to make the leather more supple, because I want to say it was 5-ounce veg tan, and it was kind of stiff. And I did not want it to be stiff, so I was just working it around to try and loosen it up. Red Dead break, going over to visit wife. I love Charles Smith, fun fact. Okay, so to put the stain on, I showed this poorly because I was using one hand, but you want to use circular motions from the outside edges in. This was instructed to me by the guy at the leather store, who I'm pretty sure has been working with leather for longer than I've been alive. So he probably knows what he's talking about. Next, you want to buff it out. I don't think this works on the flesh side though, so I don't know why I was using that as an example. I was so mad. Be more careful than I was, because I got an extra little bit on the fancy side. Anyway, I'm buffing this out. I took too long. I waited too long, and so it didn't really buff out properly. You're gonna wanna put your pages under a bunch of heavy stuff to flatten them out while you're doing all this. This is me showing off the journal after I stitched the pages into the leather. I forgot to film me stitching it, but I did film me stitching the strap onto the journal. So you get that. I used pliers because I am weak and the pin needle, whatever, it hurts to push it through. But yeah, this is the finished project. I'm very proud of this. This show off was filmed months later, so it's a little dinged up from being in my bag and from moving into my dorm with me. I haven't used it yet. I'm sure any artists know the anxiety of a new sketchbook, especially a very nice new sketchbook. But yeah, moral of the story, go make things.